Today I'm using watercolors and I'm painting a holiday bookmark. It's a design that you could also turn into a holiday card. The first thing you need to do is decide on the size of your bookmark. I decided to make mine 7 inches long and 2 inches wide. Then I went online to find a reference photo. I only needed a reference photo for the actual cardinal because I knew I was going to put it in a winter scene and just make up some branches. After taping it to a board, I began painting the background with a light blue color. The trick is to keep each section of the background wet, so you can go in and add in more color where it's needed. You want to keep the paper wet in those areas so that the colors flow and blend. I'm using a number 8 brush on a 2-inch piece of paper. There's not a lot of room. I'm not so worried about the background color overlapping on some branches, but I don't want the color to run into where the cardinal is going to be painted. When I finished painting the background, I pulled out the blow dryer and I made sure that the background was completely dry. That way, when I paint the cardinal, the red won't bleed into the background. When painting the cardinal, I did the same thing as the background. I just wanted to get a base color on there. It turned out that the first color was a little bit too blue, so I started adding in some orange. And then there was just too much paint on the bird, so I just blotted some off, and that's the beauty of watercolor. Now I'm able to use the colors where I want and keep the breast of the bird a lot lighter than the wings. Remember that when watercolor dries, the color gets lighter. At this point, I have to tell you something has gone wrong with the lighting. I'm using a different setup and it didn't work well. Some of the painting is washed out. So to compensate for this, I've included a picture of the finished product on the left side of the screen, from here to the end of the video. That way you can still watch the process, but you see what the finished product actually looks like. For the branches, I'm applying a very thick coat of watercolor. That way it covers anything that may have overlapped onto where the branches were, and it also makes the branches stand out when I put the snow on them. So I'm using a number 3 rigger brush to paint these branches. By the time I finish painting the branches, the red of the cardinal is completely dry, and I go in with the black around the eyes and the beak. While I wait for the first layer of black to dry, I go in with a darker shade of red and I add in feathers and details to the bird's wings and body. And here I do a second coat of the black. And the final step is to add the snow. You can support my channel by subscribing so YouTube will share my videos with more people. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you ring that bell, you'll be notified every time I post a video. Thank you for watching.